drop-off site as 16 WAPT rolled up its sleeves to try and help the charity organization restock its stores.
Sunday night I was watching the news and I saw the Salvation Army food truck and there was a man there in a short sleeve t-shirt. And I thought, oh, I wish I could get to him with a coat.
The temporary warehouse location quickly emerged into a factory floor of activity. Piles of clothes, bags of suits, even dry cleaners emptying their not claimed yet clothing and turning it into hope for an organization that just tries to help others.
Our primary need right now is furniture. We need lots of furniture. We would ask respectfully that people don't bring used toys because it's difficult to deal with those. But furniture and clothing, main things, household items, electronics, but furniture right now will get us back on our feet faster than anything else.
But businesses came calling too, looking for ways to help out. Deep South Equipment donated pallet jacks to help move things along.
What better time to step up when the Salvation Army, the people that help 365 days a year in our community, why not help them in their time of need?
That sentiment shared by others, some who had depended on this agency before and had not forgotten.
I am an avid shopper here, and it's time to give back. I mean, that was my store.
Yeah, they helped me after I came from Houston with heart surgery.
Yeah.
I had to get some bill paid, and they helped me pay my light bill. And it came in handy.
Obviously, it's made a lasting impression.
Yes, it did. But I say, I'm going to help them. They helped me.
The warehouse fire is over, but the inspiration it has given others to give is burning bright. A sign that from tragedy, sometimes good things do follow. Certainly an amazing amount of charity happening today. I'm amazed. Take a look at the pile over here in these bags. Now, it may not look like much, but they're clothes, nice clothes in there that are going to be sorted and then eventually sold at their thrift store. The money going for things like their rehab services here at the Salvation Army. Now, we're at the end of our fire drive here at this warehouse, but they're still going to be collecting items throughout the week. You can also drop off items at Crossgates Baptist Church in Brandon and also Broadmoor Baptist Church over in Madison. We'll be back later in the broadcast to talk with Captain Ken Chapman about what happens next for the Salvation Army. Live in Jackson, Scott Simmons, 16 WAPT News.
I'm sure he is thrilled with that turnout. All right, Scott, thank you so much. If you do want to give money to help the Salvation Army, leaders say you can make a quick $10 donation by texting Jackson to 80888 on your cell phone. Jackson police want your help finding an officer's stolen machine gun. They tell us someone stole an M5 submachine gun similar to the one you're about to see from a SWAT officer's unmarked police SUV. It was in front of his South Jackson home. That thief smashed a window and grabbed the rifle from the back. I guess we can't show it to you. We'll show it to you tonight at 10, but we can tell you if you have any information about this, call Crime Stoppers at 601-355-TIPS. Parents are angry tonight after they claim a school bus was a no-show. 16 WAPT's Tammy Eswick spoke to parents who want to know who's accountable.
Left out in the cold.
It's cold. You don't want to be out here in this weather.
These JPS parents want to know who's accountable for students left waiting for buses they say never came.
I think that is harsh.
Murrah parent Natasha Tyler says her son stood outside for hours on Monday.
He went out there right at 7:20. Went out there at 7:20 and he stayed out there until 9 o'clock.
She says she eventually had to leave work, drive across town, and bring him to school.
By the time I made it here, no bus had shown.
This is where that bus stop is at Atkins Boulevard and Brentwood Drive. Parents say their kids waited out here in these freezing temperatures for a bus they say was a no-show.
Danielle Holmes says she was driving her daughter to school when she saw kids waiting in those freezing temperatures.
I noticed that students were standing at the bus stop shivering, and I stopped to ask them if they needed a ride to school.
Parents say JPS usually calls with a recorded message when they need to update them, but not this time.
I think someone has dropped the ball somewhere along the road.
In a statement JPS released to 16 WAPT, they say the JPS Transportation Department has experienced some delays in reaching bus stops on time over the past few days due to mechanical failures with some of its buses. They went on to say the district apologizes to parents for the delays and is working to resolve its transportation challenges. Back at the bus stop, parents say they have no problem with driving their kids to school.
And they should have let us know ahead of time that they were having problems with the buses and also bus drivers.
They just want a heads up when they have to. In Jackson, Tammy Eswick, 16 WAPT News.
JPS says the students affected will be allowed to make up missed class work. Hinds County deputies made 2 big drug busts tonight. The first one happened on Magnolia Drive, right near Clinton Boulevard. Deputies seized about 4 pounds of marijuana in containers, which has a street value of $14,000. Deputies and MBI agents also took a gun, a small amount of crack cocaine, and several scales from the scene. They arrested 4 people who they claim were selling it out of the home. Detectives say their investigation took them weeks. The second bust on Ford Avenue, right near Woodrow Wilson Avenue. This is video of what deputies found: guns, drugs, money, and a Kevlar vest. They arrested Charles Bracey and charged him with being a felon in possession of a firearm and possession with intent to sell drugs. The former police chief in Mendenhall pleaded guilty today to bribery and extortion charges in Jackson. Bruce Barlow demanded money or property in exchange for dropping charges. He was arrested in March of last year. We're continuing to follow the water issues from Claiborne County tonight. The entire city of Port Gibson lost water after a power surge knocked out 1 service pump. 16 WAPT's Jennifer Ortega shows us how things are improving.
The water system here in Port Gibson seems to be up and running now. We spoke to the EOC. They said it was an electrical problem that had the water pressure go down. Earlier today, Claiborne School District evacuated the elementary and middle school into the high school because it had no water. Schools will be in session tomorrow. The pressure is increasing and it should be normal by tomorrow morning. In Port Gibson, Jennifer Ortega, 16 WAPT News.
Some scary moments this afternoon at a Jackson middle school. Firefighters swarmed Chastain Middle School on Manhattan Road for reports of a fire. However, JPS leaders say an air conditioning unit on the roof overheated and started filling the school with smoke. No one was hurt. Over in Florence, water woes are forcing a church to find a new place for services. 16 WAPT's Mike Perchik gives us a look at the damage.
Classrooms, hallways, a basketball court, all damaged by a burst water pipe.
Just from under the basketball court alone, we pulled out over 900 gallons of water. There's still a lot sustained underneath there, and there's
the damage so bad to the court, an outside crew will have to remove it to get the remaining water. Bishop Jamie Young knows it could have been much worse.
A member of ours, who is a doctor in Florence, one of his patients rode by our church yesterday afternoon, saw water coming out of the doors, and he went to the doctor's office and told him what was happening, and he had also called the city of Florence.
City crews shut off the water, limiting the damage.
It definitely was a blessing. Regardless of the damage that was done, it definitely was a blessing that somebody was able to ride by and see that.
But with the deep freeze over, Spain warns that more pipe problems could pop up.
Where the problem lies is not the pipes freezing, it's the pipes thawing. And then as soon as the pipes thaw, that's when they break and the water starts to gush.
A lot more work to be done. Church officials tell us it should take about 2 weeks to fix all of the church issues. For now, services will be held in Brandon at a different location. From Florence, Mike Perchik, 16 WAPT News.
2 men have been formally charged with a deadly shooting at the American Legion in Vicksburg last month. Morris Davis and David Reed are charged with the death of Michael Robinson on December 7th. The 2 men were arraigned in Vicksburg Municipal Court today. They're currently being held in the Warren County Jail. Another boil water alert today for the city of Jackson. This alert affects the 1300 to 1499 block of St. Anne Street, the 1 through 25 block of Pear Orchard Park, and Lawrence Road. It also affects Twisted Oak Drive and Oak Ridge Drive. Jackson neighbors will vote next week on a 1% sales tax proposal to raise money to fix the city's water problems. 3 people are in the hospital today after leading police on a chase last night. The Hinds County Sheriff's Office says it started at the Raymond Detention Center. They say 3 people were trying to smuggle contraband into the jail. When police found out, the suspects led them on a car chase down Highway 18, then ran off the road and into the trees. All 3 will face multiple charges. A Crime Stoppers tip to help police track down a man accused of shooting into an occupied house. Vicksburg police arrested Debarius Smith today for a shooting that happened back in July. Smith is accused of shooting into a residence with 10 people inside. He goes to court Friday. We'll go live again to the 16 WAPT fire drive to benefit the Salvation Army in just a few minutes.
Well, we're starting to thaw out. Isn't that a switch? Now, as the warmer air comes in far northwest Mississippi under the threat of some freezing rain late tonight, a little light drizzle or freezing drizzle could affect parts of central Mississippi. The specifics are next. You're watching 16 WAPT News.